Hello, how are you? Well, if you were with me yesterday, first let me say welcome and welcome back before I just get dashing into everything that I'm going to do. I don't want to be rude. If you were with me, I cannot get my pin in my glue. That's okay, it can sit there. If you were with me yesterday, we played with Tracy's hallowed assemblage, and we made some wonderful little collaged assembled tags. And I hope you had as much fun as I did, because I just simply love just pulling stuff together and making stuff out of it. And here's our little ghost or lily, and they have little black spots on them. I just love throwing this stuff together. In fact, I did this one last minute while I was still chatting with you. And yeah, we had a lot of fun making these. And I think I made this one without you. We made this one, and then I went ahead and I had to finish up the ones that I still had sitting on my desk. And so I put these together as well. And these are some of the ones that I did that inspired the video. And here's one that we made together. And I still have lots of little things to play with. Just haven't decided what I'm going to do with them. I told you that we would be doing something a little bit different. So I am going to show you what that is, okay? And then we will put a couple of these together. A few years ago, Tracy put out a kit which was called Pretty Houses. And from that, I had created a journal. It was a ring-bound journal, and for the life of me, I cannot remember where I put it. I wish I knew. But I created a ring-bound journal using all of these wonderful houses. Well, Tracy's kit, Hallowed Assemblage, includes a bunch of spooky, fun little critters, shall we say. People and witches and ghouls and bats and ghosts and moons and pumpkins. And I said, well, what would it look like if, oh, and a little candle. I don't know if you can see that in there. There's a little candle that I kind of chopped apart and put it in the window. I said to myself, what if I made a decorated and or spooky house using those houses and some of the ephemera from the kit? And this is what I came up with. So what I thought we could do would be to put a few of these together. I have some stuff cut out already to assemble another house. And then I have some other stuff that I still need to kind of ink. And so I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to go back away and I'm going to finish inking, because I decided to make one that was a little bit funnier because the pieces are just too oversized for the house. I finally discovered how to print more than one set of images onto a single piece of paper on my MacBook. And so I was able to shrink these down by doing 2 sets on each page. And so I made them small enough to fit onto one of these houses properly, so that they look like that they might be the people actually living there. And they also might be like their Halloween decorations on the outside of their house, with their little spooky friends flying around everywhere. So yeah, it's silly, but I thought it would be fun. And you can still purchase this Pretty Houses kit. And I wish I could find my make. I will go and look for it, and I will probably come back and show you if I can find it. If I can't find it, then I can't show you. Of course, that makes sense. All right. But I figured let's get started. And so I will show you how the houses come and how we're going to put one of them together. And then I wanted to contrast for you the difference in sizes. Okay, this is printing the pieces out, one set per page. Let me see if I can I have some that I still haven't cut out. And this is what they look like when you print them out. I normally print a little bit bigger. When I print Tracy's kits, they show up on my computer as being at 92%. Generally, I will enlarge them to 95 to 100%, depending on what it is and how well it fits on the page. But this is how it prints out at 92%, and this is how it prints out a little bit smaller. They're not the same pumpkin, but I can still show you for the contrast, okay? So I did shrink these down to fit onto my little house, but like I said, I do have one that's a little bit funky because nothing's the right size. So we can do that as well. The houses come and they are double-sided, okay? They come this way, and they also come with a tab that you can fold over. So that in essence, you could use these as two separate houses if you wanted to, but I left it white on the back, so I'm just gonna glue my house together and add my pieces to it. They also come with a tab, and you can just loop the tab over and you can use them and make them that way. I've just cut mine out, like I said, and I'm gluing them back to back, all right? So I have my little pieces here, okay? I have, again, most of the same images that you're going to see here are the images I'm going to use on this house. But I figured we could put one together and just make it a little bit different because it is a different home. So as I did with the tags that we did the collage with, I printed these with the Creep on June backgrounds on the back of them so that I don't have white when I glue my moon. There will be a little bit of a decorative piece, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna open my house up and I'm gonna glue my moon down, okay? So I will use this glue because I couldn't get it closed. So I'm just gonna put some glue on the edge of the moon here. And I am going to stick my moon inside where my roof piece is, where my roof line is. And then I'm gonna close this and I'm gonna glue my house shut so that it looks like the moon is rising behind the house. And on the back side, oh, got extra glue on there. It just looks like a decorative piece. So you can use these whichever way you want. You could even decorate both sides. If you wanted to be inventive, you could glue one moon to the front and one moon to the back. You could do that as well. I don't have an extra moon, so I can't do that. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab out my glue gun. And I know that it was working before, and hopefully it will be working again. But I just want to use this because I can get more glue out of it. Yes, it is working. Okay, and I'm going to go around the edges. Again, you could use this if you wanted to decorate it spooky. You could use this as a Halloween card. And with all of the Christmas ephemera and Christmas kits that Tracy has out, you could even decorate these for Christmas and make Christmas cards out of them too. I mean, I might think of doing that this year and showing you guys how it works out. Now, fortunately for us, I did cut this relatively evenly, so I don't have any white spots on the back. But there's our little house, front and back. And like I said, if you had another moon, you could have a moon reflecting on the back. But yeah, you could definitely use these as cards. I printed them on 110-pound cardstock, I believe it was, but you could print these on 120-pound cardstock or even back them to make them a little bit thicker so that they would stand up. But yeah, they could definitely be cards as well. Okay, so we have our little moon. And of course, what do we want flying around our moon? But our little bat, okay? And we can glue our bat down so that he's sort of on our roof and flying towards our moon, okay? And we'll just add him here on a little bit of an angle, okay? And he's sailing up to the moon. You could also, and maybe I can do that, because I know I wanted to put my pumpkin down here. and have my cat standing next to it. I think that what I'm going to do is I am going to grab out some of my foam tape. And you could layer these so that they are, what do you call it? Oh gosh, what's the word I want? I can't think of the word. Dimensional, that's the word I want. And you could use foam tape or little foam dots. I have foam dots, but they're not as handy right now as the foam tape is. So yeah, I think I'm going to put some foam tape on the back of my cat, and I'm going to make him a little bit dimensional so that it looks sort of like he's standing in front of the pumpkin. And I'm going to put it right in the center here. And this is 1/4 inch tape so that it fits perfectly. And so what we'll do is we'll glue our little pumpkin down. That was a little spur of the moment for me, but it was something, an idea I was toying with. And I might even do that with the odd sized ones. I'm going to kind of sit my pumpkin here. There's a little edging here that's supposed to be, I guess, shrubbery. I'm going to put my little pumpkin so that he's on an angle and it looks like he's sitting on top of the shrubbery. And then I think I'm just going to take my kitty cat and I'm going to put him right next to the pumpkin on the foam tape. And you can see how that adds just a little bit of dimension and shadow there. I'm hoping you can see that. It's reflecting in the light, but it does give it just a little bit of shadow. So he looks kind of cool like that. And maybe I wanted to put my ghost so that he looks like he's flying out. Let's add a little foam tape to the back of him too. Okay, this is all really kind of spur of the moment here, but what the heck, let's just run with it. This is how I craft, okay? I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I will just be kind of random sometimes, and that's how I come up with my ideas for the things that I like to do. And then I can be very OCD and just say, oh, does that go there or does this go here? But let's put our little ghosty right there. And again, he's on the foam tape, so I'm hoping you can see that there's a little bit of a shadow behind him, and it does add some kind of dimension there. And then we have our little witch, who I thought would look really cute, standing on the doorstep here, kind of overseeing what her little ghoul friend is doing. But I think I want to kind of put her over a bit so you can still see the doorway. So we're going to glue her down like so. And yeah, so these are kind of silly, but they're also kind of fun, because I don't know about you guys. You may, if you go onto my community page, which I have been posting on this past week, because I've recently, yay for me, become a YouTube partner, which means that I am actually earning money. Not much. I think I have $1.39 coming to me when it gets here. And of course, you know, you can be a member of my channel as well. And I have earned a little bit of money from that as well. But no, what was the point of this? I forgot. Absolutely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, lordy, lordy. Yeah, okay, well, that kind of went out of my head. But yeah, I have become a YouTube partner, and I am able to finally earn some money doing this. Yeah, so, all right, and then we have our little bat, and we can kind of put him, I guess, going off the edge. I think the bats should be flying near each other, but I don't want him to kind of interfere with the ghost. So maybe I will just have him, like I said, going off the edge. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that thought just completely went out of my head. Oh, yeah. It'll probably come back to me. Yep. Probably 25 to 30 minutes after this video has finally uploaded, I'll go, oh, that's what I was going to say. All right, let's put this here. All right, like so. Oh, that's what it was. It was about my community page. Yes, I was looking at my It's called YouTube Studio, and it's an app that you use when you are a YouTube maker. And it showed me that I had a community page, and I was just glancing through it when I realized that was actually earning a little bit of money from YouTube. And I said, wow, I can actually post and let people know. So I hope you saw my post that I said that we were going to be doing Halloween this weekend. Yeah, because I did post, I think, twice this week, which kind of makes me feel good, because if I can't be here on video, I want to at least keep in touch with you guys. So there we go. We have that. I just feel like I'm missing something over here, and I'm looking around to see if there's anything that I have that I haven't cut out. How would he look if we put him there? He would look nice and scary, wouldn't he? And we can put him here. But yeah, that was what I was talking about. I do have a community page on my YouTube channel, and it does come up when I post to it. And I did post last night, letting you guys know that we were going to be doing some Halloween stuff. And I put a little picture of my little dog, Whiskey. And I said, and he'll be joining us too, but he's nowhere to be found right now. He's off on his own, but we do have Roger here. So if you hear the snoring in the background, that would be Roger. And so, yeah, that was what I posted last night. But, yeah, I was excited to find out that I am now what they call a YouTube partner, and I am earning money. But I have $1.39 in my account, and they don't pay us till we make $100. So, at that rate, it could be 100 years and I'll be long gone and a memory in the wind before I will actually get paid. But it's, I guess, my legacy. I can leave it to my family. But anyway, all right, let's finish cutting this guy out. Now, you know me, we are going to have to ink him. And I am just going to do that after I finish cutting him out. But yeah. So anyway, I hope you guys like this. I hope you think it's fun. I think that's how the whole thing started. I was going to say, I posted last year on pictures of my house after it was decorated for Halloween. I am a big outdoor decoration person. I do like decorating out of the outside of my house for Christmas and for Halloween. I don't do much outdoors for any of the other holidays, you know, like Valentine's Day or Easter, but I do try to put something kind of cute in the windows at least so that people can see it. Although when we moved from New York, the street that we live on now is very quiet and there aren't a lot of cars that pass. I do know that my neighbors enjoy what we do. So at least we have that. But I enjoy it for myself. And when my daughter was little, I know she enjoyed it too. Okay, we're going to put this spooky little guy here kind of overlooking everyone. And this is kind of give you an idea of what the other houses are going to look like. Because there are more. There are, oh my gosh, I want to say 7 or 8 houses in the kit. I only cut out 4 of them. I printed them out and cut them out because I picked the ones that were kind of autumnal colored. And by that, I mean the oranges and the greens and the yellows. And so, yeah, so that's why I picked the houses that I picked. Come on, let me get his little beak inked right there. And, yeah, but there are a bunch of houses. It's like I said, I know there's at least, I want to say 7. But yeah, go over and check out the kit. It's on Tracy's Etsy. And yeah, you can get it and decorate your own little spooky house, whether or not you make it like this or you make it something a little bit more silly like the other one I'm going to do. And so there we go. Oh, forgot to ink between his little feet here. There we go. All right. He's inked about as well as he's going to be. And so we'll just put him here. I don't like to leave an empty spot. I am not going to put glue on the very point of his hat because that portion of his hat will be sticking off the side of our little decorated house here. So I'm just going to leave that as is. And I'm going to pop him in over here like so. Make sure he's straight. So he's kind of the ghoul overlooking everyone. And of course we have the oversized cat, and we popped up our little ghost. Okay, I'm going to show you the other house we're going to decorate, and then I am going to go away because I still need to ink the pieces that I want to add to it. But this is the other house we're going to decorate, and I have already added the gigantic flower to it, which when I put it on, I said, you know, that really doesn't go. But then I thought of the idea of just leaving all of the little ephemera bits at their printed size and using them on the house anyway. So I will be right back. I just have some inking to do, and then we'll get done on this one, and I have another one planned too. Okay, I will be back in a minute. All right, everyone, I am back. I have gone and I have inked the oversized pieces, and while I was gone, I also put some foam tape on the backs of certain pieces in certain places. But this is another one of those houses, and I'm just going to ink these edges a little bit more. I just kind of feel like I didn't really ink them very well. And this one, like I showed you before, has the oversized flower on it. And I'm just going to ink this here. And so, like I said, once I saw that those looked kind of cute, I said, you know what, we're just going to do some oversized bits on here. So these houses are going to be relatively simple. These were a little bit more involved. There were a lot more pieces on it, but because these are bigger, they do stand out quite a bit more. And so we are not going to use as many, nor do we need as many pieces as we did for this one. So what I thought I would do here is I would take this cauldron. I did trim it down a bit. There's a little chain on here too, but I did cut that chain off, okay? I just felt like I couldn't really get in to trim it properly, so I just took it away. It works good with it, and it works good without it, and I'm sorry, but I have to go let my dog in. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. My husband is in my backyard. I always like my properties to be well lit, so that if you or my animals, or because we've always had dogs, if we or our animals are outside, I like to be able to see what's going on back there. Back in New York, we had 1/3 of an acre, which really isn't as big as, you know, it could be. It's not an acre of property, but we had 1/3 of an acre, and we had a large backyard and a side yard and everything. And there were, what do you call them? The lights that pop on when you go underneath them. Yeah, those. And so if my dogs were out at night, a light always lit for wherever they were. And plus we had lights on the house and things to that effect. Here in Florida, we have lights around our pool, which is our lanai, which is the screened-in portion where our pool is. We have lights on the side of the house on one side, lights on the side of the house on the other side. And now we have bought solar lights, which are those, oh my gosh, the word is escaping me. When you walk under it, it goes on. But it still glows. I wanted one in the backyard because unlike in New York, here in Florida, we have bobcats. And although I know that most of the bobcats that are here are not bigger than my dogs, I know that my dogs will go after a bobcat. So I want to be able to see what's out there. Plus my dogs like to chase, and I'm sorry to say, kill rabbits. And we have a lot of rabbits here too. And so I like to know if there's a rabbit out there. We also have tortoises, who, although my dogs can't kill them, and it's been proven because they did attack one, they can make his life miserable, and the tortoises will snap at you, and then they have nice little jaws on them. So I like to be sure that there's nothing moving around back there, along with the assorted lizards. and snakes. So my husband is in the backyard putting up another motion detector light out in my backyard so that I can see, because it will glow in the backyard, if there's anything out there that my dogs could harm or could harm my dogs. And the dogs were outside, and it's way too hot out for them. They have built-in fur coats. So they needed to come in, and of course I had to refresh their water and give them a little treat. So yeah, sorry about that. But anyway, back to what we're doing here. We have our little house, and like I said, these are the oversized pieces. So I have this cauldron, which I thought would go perfect with this little, I don't know if she's like an elf. I guess that's what she is, because she has kind of like a little elfin nose. I thought it would look kind of cool, like it looks like she's stirring her cauldron with her staff here. And I thought we could add the little raven to the top of the cauldron. So I am just going to put a little glue around the bottom here where his feet are, and I'm just going to kind of tack him in place on the cauldron, so that I get him in the right spot so that it looks like he's hanging onto the cauldron with his claws, okay? And up above me on the TV, although you cannot see it, I have Tim Holtz's new ideology, Christmas 2025 video playing. I have purchased the kit that Simon Says Stamp and Tim Holtz have made in conjunction with each other to make Christmas tags and Christmas cards. And so I bought that from Simon Says Stamp. I know the kit is no longer available. I received mine a few weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure that they are sold out. But you know me, I am a Tim Holtz fanatic, and I also, as I've said before, enjoy making cards and tags and things to such. So that I just had to have the kit. Don't tell my husband how much I spent for it. But yeah, I bought the kit. And so to Sunday at 12 noon, I will be watching and hopefully playing along and making some of those wonderful little things that I'm hoping we're going to make. So, okay, so now we have our cauldron and our little raven, and I'm going to stand my little elf right here alongside of everything. And I put some foam tape back here, but I think I'm going to add a little bit more because her feet, when I push her down, her feet seem to be flopping. So I'm just going to take and I'm going to put a tiny little piece of foam tape right here and hope that it doesn't show, and it doesn't. And I'm going to take another tiny little piece and I'm going to put it on the other side, on her other foot, and see if I can kind of stabilize her legs and her feet. And I think that one should be okay too. Yeah, okay. So now she's going to stand a little bit firmer here. And I kind of want her away from the flower and also not in front of the door on the house, but kind of alongside of it. So let's take off the backing of our tape. And I have to make sure to clean these up nicely because Whiskey likes to eat the little pieces of paper. So yeah, he will grab at anything that falls on the floor. Let's just stick that down. I didn't stick it very well. And the other day he came trotting out of the office, or the craft space, whichever you'd like to call it, with something in his mouth, and my husband yelled, "What has he got?" And of course, it was a piece of the backing from the foam tape I was using. All right, so here's our little elf, and we're just gonna kind of stand her right here, like so, and push down gently onto her arm. Now her staff, I can't really attach foam tape to it unless I sit and cut the foam tape in half. But look at what a little bit of dimension she adds. And again, you could do this with foam dots, or you don't even have to do this at all. And then I have one of my little bats, and I'm going to put him right about here. Okay, I just felt like this area was empty. And so we're just going to put our little bat flying off to the side there. We don't have a moon, and I'm sorry, but I did run out of the moons. I do have one for the other little house that we're going to put together. And I'm thinking maybe I should add some more foam tape to him too and kind of stabilize both of his wings. So I'm going to cut off a little piece here that looks like it's about the right size to fit on the back. And I'm just going to stick this down. People, I think I'm going to need reading glasses to do this. And I actually have the inexpensive ones. Oh, see, that piece is a little big. I'm just going to snip this off here because I feel like I'm squinting way more than I should be to do this. Growing younger doesn't get any easier. Yeah. Do we really want to be able to go back in time? I don't know. I think if we could go back in time and be younger, I think I would pick certain times of my life that I want to delete. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. And you could, I mean, by all rights, I could attach a little clip here with perhaps a little dangle. That would be cute too. You know, you can display them in your house, stand them up like so. Okay, but yeah, there's that one. Okay, and then let's just grab this one. Okay, now I did glue most of this house together, but I knew that I wanted to put the moon in here. So in lieu of gluing the whole roof together, I left this portion so that we can stick our moon right there. Okay, and it will be peeking out, and also behind this little turret here, we'll have our little moon. So I am going to add glue to the house itself instead of to the back of the moon. And I'm going to put my moon right in there like so. Okay, and glue the moon in. Okay, and then I am just going to finish adding in a few little lines of glue and a little bit on the moon there so that I can close up the roof. And there we have our little moon on our house. It looks like it's rising above and or going down, setting itself. We're actually teaching our students about that today, the way the sun and the moon and the rotation of the earth and things to that effect. And then I have this little family all dressed in black. And I thought that they could be the proprietors of the house, which also has a little tombstone with the raven on it, okay, sitting here to the side. I had already glued this piece on, just like I had glued the flower onto this one. I glued the little tombstone, and I did trim it up because I didn't like it overhanging the edge. I wanted to keep everything in place. And so, again, I added foam tape along the necks of the husband and wife, so that they would stay stable. And I put a little bit on the bottom so that everyone's feet would stay where they should. And I'm going to kind of center them here. And then I have a bat with a little bit of foam tape that I'm going to put at the top. So let's peel off this foam tape. I will add the foam tape in the description box below the video. I get mine from Amazon. And in fact, I did just order some more because I am making Halloween cards. I'm still toying with the idea of making another video, making those Halloween cards. Because like I said, I know they don't make the best amount of views because my channel is mostly junk journaling and stuff to that effect, but I do like to do it. And so I will post those videos every once in a while. Now I just have to decide if I want to bring my bat down a little bit. Yeah, I think we're going to bring the bat down like he's flying to the moon without covering up the turret. And maybe, you know, I think I'm going to add some more foam tape again because I don't want his wings to get damaged or bent in any way, shape, or form. So I'm just going to add a little bit more foam tape again to keep his wings stable like we did with our other bat. Okay, and here we go. My hubby and I have to go to Walmart, have to buy some dog food and other little things. We went and did our Costco shopping yesterday, and we did that. I came and picked my husband up after school, And we went to Costco and did our Costco shopping. And so we got that out of the way. But there are things that Costco does not have. We do also have a BJ's membership for those of you who know what Costco and BJ's and Sam's Club and, oh gosh, I don't know what the other ones are. Those are the three major ones that I know of. We have a BJ's membership also because BJ's is closer to our house than Costco is. But we joined Costco because our one dog, Roger, has severe allergies. And his allergy medication is very expensive. And Costco has it for much less than what we would pay elsewhere. And I'm just looking to see if I really wanted to add this pumpkin sort of as a decoration here. But I just felt like it was too much. So if you buy the kit and you want to add the pumpkin, you can by all means add the pumpkin. And then I do have this pumpkin also. But nope, I think I'm just going to leave it as is. So these two are relatively simple compared to the other one that we made. Even though we did add a lot more dimension with the foam tape on several of the pieces. Here's the other one we made, which is a little bit more involved. But again, I printed the images out to a page, so they came out smaller and more fit on the house. So if you want to do one that's overloaded like this one, or if you want to do one that's a little bit more simple, okay, you can do that too. And here's the first one that I made using the Pretty Houses kit. And this one is very overloaded because I didn't know when to stop. But yeah, it's fun. And like I said, you can make them into cards. And you can decorate them also as well for the Christmas holidays or the seasonal holidays, whatever you prefer to call it if you don't celebrate Christmas, but you celebrate one of the other holidays in the season. You could decorate any of these for any of those. So I hope you liked it. I hope you had fun. Don't forget to go over and look at my video where we made all of these collaged tags together. This was a very enjoyable as well. And like I said, I want to take a look and see how I can possibly make something to join these together. And I did want to take one little peek. Hang on, guys. I'm going to just put you on a pause and see if I can quickly locate the journal that I made using these houses. So hang on. I'll be right back. All right, friends. Well, I tried, but I cannot find the journal. I did make an adorable journal. It was a ring-bound journal using all of these houses, and I had decorated them. And I just cannot find it. But anyway, I will link the Hallowed Assemblage and I will link the Pretty Houses kit in the description box below. I will also link the tape that I use. Like I said, I purchased mine on Amazon. I just can get really huge rolls for a reasonable price, and I know there are others out there. I am a big Simon Says stamp shopper, and they sell the same kind of thing on their website, as well as being able to get it on Amazon, but that's where I get mine from. So yeah, I will link that for you too. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to send you lots of love and big hugs and ask you please to remember to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you soon. Hopefully next weekend we will be working on that new enchantment kit that Tracy just put out. In the meanwhile, I might do a video making some of the Halloween cards that I've made. As you can see, I have a ton of little bits and pieces that I have been cutting and coloring, and with the idea of making those Halloween cards, even if it's not on video, just for myself. So yeah, all right. I will see you soon. Love, hugs, like, subscribe, and comment, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.